Good day, everybody. Matthew from Captive Audience Comics here with some potential key book recommendations for April 3rd. We're going to go through books that a couple of online resources have said are books to watch out for, potentially could be keys or books of significance, and we'll let you guys know which books we think are good picks of those, because not all of those are going to be books that we think are a good investment. If you're looking at comics from an investment point of view, if you're just collecting for what you read, which is what I always recommend people do, buy what you like, you'll never be disappointed, then grab everything that you like, and maybe these are some extra pickups that you just might be interested in. So let's get started. So the first book that we have this week as a recommendation is Deadpool #1, okay? This is the first appearance of a new villain, Death Grip, and whenever there's a new villain introduced, especially in the Deadpool universe, which is fairly static, there's potential there for any kind of future crossovers or involvement or expansion of the universe. So I think this is probably a good one to get. Plus, it's a #1 in the new storyline, which are always popular. Anyways, so this is a good one to look out for, and we will be picking this one up as well. Okay, so secondly, we have the Immortal Thor #9. Now, first of all, I happen to just like the cover. I probably would have bought this book anyways because just of the cover design, which I think is very cool. But it's a possible introduction of Chad Hammer, a corporate mascot version of Thor in the play of Roxxon. This will also lead into the Roxxon Presents Thor one-shot and the whole Roxxon Marvel storyline that's being introduced. Again, this one we will probably pick up, less so because of the Chad Hammer issue, but just because the cover's pretty cool. I like the cover on this one. Next we have now this is a potential key. Is the origin of the first meeting of Batman and Poison Ivy. I actually will not be picking this one up. I don't think that there's a lot of significance in this. Poison Ivy's been around for a long time. There's been lots of stories about the origin of Poison Ivy and stories with Batman and everything else. I don't think we're going to learn anything new in this book, but if you're a Poison Ivy fan or a Batman collector, then this is for you. This isn't one that we personally will be picking up. Next, we have Spider-Man Shadow of the Green Goblin #1. So this is origin of the Proto-Goblin. This is the research assistant that preceded Norman Osborn as the first test subject of the Goblin formula. I'm torn on this one. I probably will not pick this up. There's been I haven't seen any excitement online about this book. Seems to me just an extension of trying to expand that whole test subject base. Maybe keep an eye and see how it's looking on Tuesday. If it's picking up steam, maybe you pick up a copy. If this was being introduced in the main Spider-Man storyline, I might recommend it. But because it's a one-off, one-shot, I don't think it's a big deal. All right. Next, we have Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum #3. Now, this is actually listed as a key issue. I would not consider this to be a key issue. The reason it's key is because it has a redeemable code for the Scarface weapon in the Kill the Justice League video game. By the way, that video game is awesome. I've watched several playthroughs. It looks fantastic. But a video game token, in my opinion, doesn't make a book a key issue. In fact, that's not even one of the deciding factors of what makes a book a key book. So if you want it for the video game token, fantastic, grab it. The cover's so. I say it's not a fantastic cover. It's average. So not something that we'll be picking up. And then we have a book that I thought that we talked about last week, but it's showing up as an issue this week. So this is Transformers #1, fifth print. We've talked about this before, about multiple reprint numbers, that if you get lucky and you have a copy of the last reprint with a low print number, you're going to do well from an investment point of view. problem is it's impossible to tell what the print run is going to be in advance of that book coming out. I really wish that there'd be a way to find out what the pre-orders are on books to see how popular a book is, but it's just not something that we have available right now. It is a cool cover. So if you're into Transformers and you're looking for cool covers, this is a cool book. I don't think I'll be picking up this book. I just don't think there's any value in that long term. Now, something else that we get asked about occasionally are books that they come up as key books or books of significance, but they're high ratio books. We're never going to recommend a ratio book from an future value point of view higher than a ratio. We probably won't even recommend a 1 in 25, higher than a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 15. High ratio books, 1 in 25 and higher, have such a low chance of maintaining their value long term that in our opinion, it is just a gamble. Now, if you got a bunch of extra money, you collect a given artist, you just want that for your personal collection, fantastic. But if you're buying a book for future potential value, I would stay away from all ratios of 1 in 25 and up, because you're going to pay a significant premium at your shop, likely, and it might be maintain its value in the short term, but is likely to collapse in the long term. There's very few books that the high ratio books have maintained their value. Now, if you have a good relationship with your shop and you can get a high ratio book at a much lower price, they tend to go like for $1 for the ratio. So 1 in 25 usually is around $25, a 1 in 50 around 50, et cetera, et cetera. You can get that for, say, half that value, like a 1 in 50 for $25. I would probably pick it up simply because at that reduced value, you could probably recover your investment if that book doesn't decide to go anywhere. So hopefully that'll help you guys out with maybe some extra books that you weren't thinking about or didn't know about that you might want to pick up and add to your pull list. And hopefully there was something there that you guys like, and everyone gets some great books on Wednesday. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao.